Good evening, gents.
Are we on?
Yes, we are. Good evening.
Hello, George.
We're live. How are we, fellas?
Happy Friday Eve. How's it going?
Good.
Wow. Good.
Well, welcome everyone to the round 11 preview for Carlton versus Gold Coast Suns for this Saturday. So I hope everyone's having a great Thursday night. Probably everyone's tuning into a ripper of a game between the Doggies and the Swans. But now that it's half time, we're kicking off. Thanks everyone for your patience. So a bit of an around the grounds. How's your week been? What's happening, Wuss?
Oh, just another one, mate. Crook as a dog. Hopefully I'll recover by Saturday. Something going around. So, yeah, feeling a bit shitty, but good game of footy tonight. I think Norton just went down, so it's going to be an interesting second half. But other than that, looking forward to Saturday. Yeah, a few ins and outs we can discuss. But other than that, BAU, mate. Business as usual. Cal?
I like that one, BAU. Not bad. Yeah, well, mate, you know, taking the week as it goes, working home, and waiting for Saturday. Hopefully it brings us a joyful day, a good day. Andy?
Good, man. Good. Been a long week. As always, looking forward to the footy on the weekend. This week feels a bit weird because there's a lot on the line this week. It's not just a game against Gold Coast, you know. It's a bit more important than just another game, but we'll get into that. How was your week, Georgie?
It was good. Before I go into it, a shout out to Amal. Couldn't make it tonight, laid out, but he is lurking in the chat. I do see him there in the chat, so get around him in the chat. Hope all is well, sir. And again, as always, a big shout out to our sponsor, bluescrypto.com. Really appreciate you getting around us. Enables us to do some exciting stuff in the future, and including our new streaming platform we've got on at the moment. So big thanks to bluescrypto.com. Whether you're a new investor, a seasoned investor, if you like to look at any investment opportunities, get around to bluescrypto.com. I'm just going to pop a note in the chat, and I'll pin that with all of Ura's details. So have a suss of bluescrypto.com if you haven't been around it yet. Week was good. Just raring for the footy. Back at Marvel this Saturday. So taking my son this Saturday. Actually, it's his first ever game was last year against the Suns, and that was a fun turnaround in our season. So his second ever game will also be against the Suns. So it's a bit of a family friendly time slot opposition, and he's G'd up for it. So we've got a few in the chat. Big shout out to Cookley. Got Medallion Club tickets for Saturday. Pumped, mate. That's awesome. There's a couple of people that messaged me in the Medallion Club. Costa, shout out. I know you tune in from time to time, mate. Thank you so much. I think he's overseas at the moment, but he's come back and he's at the Medallion Club as well. So on you, mate. There's going to be quite a few of us. At the game. My uncle's birthday Saturday, so they have to win. Aiden, shout out to your uncle, Aiden. Shout out to your mum as always. Thanks for tuning in. Love it. Appreciate it.
Get stuck in the teams.
Let's do it. Absolutely. So, bit of extra.
Who's out?
Bit of added functionality here.
Not enough. Fantasia still made it.
I'll take it, man.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Let's breeze through Gold Coast as one real quick. So ins, Jed Walter, Witts, Nick Holman, Rogers out, Fiorini, Moyle, Davies, and Day. Going through Gold Coast lineup, starting with the forward line: King, Rao, Lukosius, Walter, Long, Johnston, Swallow, Miller, Closey, Flanders, Ulan, Jeffrey, Collins, Ballard, McAndrew. Followers Witts, it's a big in for them. He is a absolute unit, and we're going to be down obviously a ruckman, so it's a big one. Noah Anderson, Humphrey, Sexton, Holman, Ainsworth, Berry, and Rogers on the extended interchange. Emergencies: Davies, Fiorini, I don't even know how to say that. OEA. Anyway. So putting Carlton's big ins, a couple of really big ins over there. Adam Sard, Lockie Cowan, Lockie Fogarty out. Corey Durden, Pitnet, Marchbank managed. What are your thoughts on the initial ins and outs before we go into the team?
Let Moose have a crack.
Yeah, I'll have a dip. I'll have a good dip. Durden, fantastic. That's the best thing I've seen all day. All week, actually. Disappointing with Marchbank. I don't know. Yeah, like, just got one week and that was it, managed. Don't know. It's probably the game where, Weathering's question marks. I don't know. Is Weathering 100? We'll find out, won't we? But Sard, obviously, big inclusion. Cowan shouldn't have come out the side, and Fogarty, that pressure and what he brings to the side. We're going to see the forward line actually work, I think. But yeah, obviously, what do you guys, Carl? What do you reckon?
Just looking at the chat real quick. Mohammed Alouche. Carl adds, you want to shout out. Love your work, Adnan. Maybe should tee up a dinner. Haven't seen you in a while. Happy Durden's out, as my sister calls him, Turden. Turd. Happy Cowan's back in. We spoke about that last week or Monday that he shouldn't have been dropped.
Yeah.
Marchbank's finished, my opinion. I reckon end of the year. Is he out of contract this year? Not too sure.
I think he might have been, or was he another? He got another year. But do you think he was brought back in prematurely? Because obviously he missed a bit of footy. He's come back in. He's managed now after one game. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't reckon he's AFL standards anymore. That's my take on it.
Cool.
I reckon he's too slow for the game. He let a goal through last week. Shouldn't have been a goal. Or it just bounced over the top of his head. That's my take.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, interesting one. Because Lewis Young, same boat. I mean, are they both sort of just, I don't know, in a team on the list, just as filling numbers? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But great. It's good to see Sard back. Need that run off the back line.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huge.
Absolutely
huge. Fogarty. Well, I'll give you one before we go back to the ins. Marchbank v Young. If we're talking about list management or whatnot, like if you had to pick one, gun to your head.
I'll take Marchbank all day, but
yeah, no brainer. But still, they're both done.
The lesser of two evils.
I'd rather see Sam Durden in.
The fact that Marchbank is managed after one game, the writing's on the wall. His body is just not up to it. It's not up to AFL standard. I think that's what they're telling us. How can you make a team after all that time off, and then you're not omitted, you're not dropped, like you're not injured, but you're managed?
Yeah.
Either the club's lying to us, don't want to admit that he got injured again. Which, let's be real, the club lie to us all the time. They don't lie, they omit details, right? I think that's the most concerning thing about our ins and outs.
Let's go through the rest of the teams that we discussed it a bit further as well, especially the ins. Adam Sard in the back line with Wiedering, Cowan, Nick Newman, McGovern, Kemp. Wieders thought it was going to be a bit of a question mark this week after the corky, but it'd be great to see him back in. We get up for the game, sorry. Centre line, Hollands, Cripps, Akers. Half forward line, Zach Williams, Harry Mackay, Elijah Hollands. Forward, Orazio Fantasia. Jesus. Anyway, Charlie Curnow, Matty Owies. Followers, Tom DeConning, Sarah Walsh, Matty Kennedy. Extended interchange bench, Boyd, Hewitt, Chincotta, Fogarty, and Carroll. If you early call for a sub, Boyd, Hewitt, Chincotta, Fogarty, Carroll.
Carroll?
No, I don't think so. Go again, George. Who you got on there?
Boyd, he'll be in. Hewitt, Chincotta, Fogarty, Carroll. Do you remember Sard's back?
Yeah.
So you're going to have Sard, Boyd, Newman, maybe Chincotta, possibly a Carroll, and you have Hewitt up, Hewitt in.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, eh? Maybe you're right, Carl.
It has to be. It can't be Fogarty.
Hewitt?
Can't be Hewitt, not with Cherry out.
Watch
Yeah.
it big Crips.
Emergencies:
Liverpool,
Corey Durden, Lewis Young, and Binns. Binns a bit stiff, but
So
yeah,
Durden's
no,
emergency still.
yep.
Mm.
In case of emergency, break glass. So, quick shout out, Smeg off. Muss's background looks like cupcake decoration and is giving me a sweet tooth.
It's actually
Pretty much
from my good call out. It's from my son's first birthday. It's a Biggest Smalls theme. This is 2 parts of the. I think it's 3 or 4 pieces actually. So I hung on to it.
Tough invite. You
Thought it'd be good. Yeah. You were there. You were there. You were all there actually.
Great night.
Yeah, I quite like it actually. Thank you.
Talking about the ins, Sard, Fogarty, and Lockie Cowan, a bit of grunt in the back line. So just a quick little tribute vid for Adam Sard that's back in. Hope you guys enjoy it.
I miss you.
Running inside 50, great chase and tackle, Adam Sard.
I miss you.
Got the kick away, Sard takes a ripper.
I miss you, baby.
The last baby at the end. That one kills me.
Can I just say, I've never had so much fun making a video as I have that video. And to give you a bit of context, it was right after the Sydney loss when I jumped on. I was like, boys, I'm depressed and I'm just going to make a Sard tribute video because I bloody miss him. And I couldn't wait to show the guys. But anyway, that was there'll be hopefully more of them. If you have any ideas, send them through.
I reckon need to make some more videos of him.
Well, shout out to this random Turkish bloke that says I miss you and in those videos, because he's got a series of Instagram posts where he's like running in a field of flowers and he's like, I love you and I miss you. So hey, I might make more using his content, but yeah, side back huge. That run off the back line, I'm excited for. We've missed him. I really hope it's been 5 weeks or 6 weeks. He's missed a bit of football since
Adelaide, was it?
I believe it was Adelaide. It's when
him and Gavin went.
They all went down there.
Thoughts on, I guess, the change or what it means for our backline going into this particular game.
I hope they haven't rushed him, first of all.
Yeah.
You reckon they have?
They rush everyone.
You're not
I don't
fucking
know.
wrong there, mate.
I have no faith in our strength and conditioning, our rehab. I think Andrew Russell needs to go. I just have zero confidence in our management, in our player management. Did you guys catch what it said on the injury list about Jack Martin? How we're going to assess him?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I know. It's actually, you know what's interesting? I was having a look at that list. I don't remember exactly which one. I'm sure someone else has picked it up. Next to the names, or it gives you a little comment and it says injured during this game or whatever. There was one of them that said injured during the whatever win. Can't remember which game it was. Injured during whoever we beat, Adelaide win or whatever. It wasn't Adelaide, and then the rest of them says just injured. So they made it like clear that we won. But they were injured, but we still won.
Yeah.
So I'll try and get a screenshot of that. I don't remember where it was from. I'm pretty sure it was from the Carlton website.
That's how soft they are.
Well, they provide that update on the website, and then that goes to the AFL injury list on Tuesdays and whatnot. But the Martin one, obviously, we spoke about it at length last week. That's a concerning one, not knowing this guy's timeline and like Lana said in the chat, if anyone else gets injured this week, I'm going to spew up. I think you and all of us. And quickly, Miss Motlop, I'm glad he's getting more time. I thought about that today. I thought there was noise for him to come in this week, but he had I think it was a toe injury, and then it was 2 hammies. He got the hammy, and then he done it again. So like coming in off no like just being in a scratchy fitness. Coming back in right off that, I think would have been a bit of a risk. So, we don't. You don't need a sort of. You're not fighting to save, I guess, games now. But 4 points is 4 points, so it's interesting. And Fogarty,
just quickly, George, before you go to that, this is from carltonfc.com.au. Adam Chera hamstring. Experienced a hamstring strain in a win over Melbourne. Availability to be reassessed in round 13. The rest of them just pretty much say, torn injury. They made it nice and clear that it was definitely after a win, which was, we got the 4 points. Fantastic. Well done, Carlton Football Club. Anyway.
How long does it say Motlop? It just says test, yeah?
Yeah.
Motlop has been 1 to 2 weeks since the start of the year.
Yeah.
Since opening round, it's been 1 to 2 weeks. And then, he's redone his hamstring. It's 1 to 2 weeks. So,
Do you reckon he comes back in when he's ready, or do you reckon he goes VFL?
straight back in.
I think he's got it.
I think he's AFL standard. And I don't like. What's the point in playing him in the VFL? I've never understood that logic. Like, if it's a good player, bring him in. If they're ready to play VFL, they're ready to play AFL. Unless you're managing his time.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Match fitness,
unless
maybe.
Unless you're managing his match time, play him straight in the AFL. Like, I don't see the difference. What is he not going to run hard in the VFL? Is he not going to try? Like, might as well get him to try, and for us, so.
I think on who the player is, but obviously it depends on the role as well. Being a small forward, why would you play him in the VFL? Yeah, you want to bring him straight in to give you that, what the small forward is supposed to be doing, which we've lacked all year. So,
yeah. Well, Aiden reckons he's playing in the VFL this week. It's a good thing there's no VFL games this week. There's a buy in the.
Shout out Oz in the chat. Hope you're well, mate. If you go into the game, let us know. I think you were going this week. What gate are we? We going near gate 4?
Gate 4.
Gate 4.
Can I ask you boys a question? Do you guys feel a bit flat going into this game? Like, the excitement isn't there as normal. Like, it's almost like even if we win, it's like, what are we like? Yeah, we're winning. We're going to be happy we've won. But it's just after a disappointing loss like we had against Sydney, I'm just flat. Like, I'm angry. I'm angry with this football club because we should. And for me, honestly, it's the injuries. It's the injuries. It's a lack of transparency with the club regarding injuries. I don't know. I'm a bit flat going into this game, and I hope that's not the feeling of the players. I'm sure it's not. But you hope the players are up and about. But I just I don't know. Like, the normal excitement for me isn't there. It's more like, all right, man, let's go to the footy. Like, it's just
what would change that? Like, obviously, a win,
not beating
but
Gold
how?
Coast. Not beating Gold Coast. That's not. I don't think that's going to change.
Nah, unless you come out and win by 60 plus.
That's what I'm saying. Is it a big result?
Nah, see, for me, that doesn't matter. To me, that doesn't matter because you still put up the effort you put in last week, and you've still got yourself into a position where you're 10th on the ladder after round 10. Now, I don't care if we're percentage out of 5th or 6th. I don't care about that because if this was the last round, we'd be out of finals. Mm-hmm. So I think we've let ourselves down, and I think for me personally, I think I've lost a bit of trust in the group after last week, just as a fan.
Group or system?
Everything.
No, because I was having the same convo with myself.
Yeah, good question. I think it's a collective. Yeah. I think it's a little bit of both. I think Voss has really struggled this year with countering his opposition coach's moves. I think he's really struggled to stem flow. And okay, it's all good and well to chuck Charlie back, which I love that idea. But what are you doing to counteract? Like, how are we going to win this game? It's very much, all right, let's just try to stop their momentum and then try to get something back. But we've lost our spark.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know where it's going to come from, but I feel like we're just missing a spark. So maybe it is getting Sard back and Fogarty back. Maybe it is Pito not being in the middle where we're slow, and I don't know. I'm a bit flat going into the game.
Do you reckon the out-coached moves as well come down to injured players, where you can't put certain players in certain positions? Reckon that's another thing?
I think that's a fair question too. I think it is, but then it goes back to Musa's point. There's a system. That's where it becomes a system issue. So maybe we're not, and I said this last week, maybe we don't bat as deep as we think we do.
Yeah.
As far as talent goes. Maybe we're just not that deep.
Yep.
So you look at, opposition clubs' systems, a lot of the good teams play in, player out, player out, player in. They're just system. Look at Sydney, man. Look at the way they just, and I don't even know if they're up, down, like I'm not paying attention tonight, but they've got a clear system. So I think back to Musa's question, I think it's definitely a bit of both. How about you? What did you, with your argument with yourself, what did you come up with?
I definitely think it's a combination of both. But something that sort of sprung to mind is not taking anything away from us, but this year has been really competitive. I don't know if everyone's sort of upped it a notch or different game styles or game plans, but at the moment I feel like we're really behind the eight ball. We haven't, superseded what we did last year. In my opinion, I think we've gone backwards. Last year we had a set structure, we had set plays. There was things that were going, through the midfield a bit more. We were linking up, whereas I feel like we left a lot in 2023. I really am yet to find anything definitive to say this is what the system is and this is what the plan is and this is what we're supposed to be doing. I don't know. I don't know if everyone else has noticed that, or is it just me? Or
do you reckon that opposition's found us out and would I have a plan B, C, or D?
Yeah.
I think once we get congested in the midfield, we struggle. We struggle with transition. But again, like earlier this year, we were scoring heavily from transition. That's where we were getting our scores from. But as soon as Pito's come back in the team, and Pito came back and he's played well, right? We're 2-4. Like we've lost so much pace, and it's not on him, but it's going to be interesting if this week we score from transition and to see how we score, because we're not going to have first use of the ball. We're not going to, so because Witts is a premier ruckman.
He was dominated as well.
Yes. So TDK has a bit of a chip on his shoulder, I think, when it comes to Witts, because Witts has put it over him most games. So it's going to be interesting to see where we score from and what avenue we take. But I'll just go back to Musa's question again. It's a very good question. Is it faith in the group or system? And that's something that, as a lot of fans, a lot of people will be divided.
Yep.
Whereas I'm literally in the middle. I think it's a little bit of both. I think maybe our system needs to be tweaked. I also think our playing group needs to smarten up, harden up a bit. We've lost our edge. We've lost our, I was about to say a very bad word. We've lost our angriness, our hunger.
Our
We've lost that.
Rhymes with the grunt.
Is it leadership on the ground?
100%.
Our leaders. Where are our leaders? I saw something at the start of the year with these are the leadership team or whatever, but I don't know.
Doherty,
Yeah.
I think was so important for that, and we are really missing him right now. Because last year, one of the best things we had, one of our best weapons, was Doherty being able to play halfback, in the middle, wing, right, and kill it at each possession. So
yeah,
I'm just flat, boys. I don't know. I'm just a bit.
I'm with you. Carl, sorry, George. Just quickly, Carl. I think I've got a few comments come through saying there is VFL game. Can we confirm our sources?
Fuck, I hope I'm not wrong.
It's I think while you're checking that, Carl, for me, there's a lot of what if, right? We're talking about last season versus this season. Have we regressed? So we're not supersetting. I feel like we have shy away from it or not. We've been decimated this season, right? Sauce, start of the year, out. Doc, round 0, out. Cherry's missed footy. Walsh missed the first month. Kiddo's missed some footy. Martin, Motlop, Foggett. Like, there's been a lot of football missed, right? And you always think of the what if and the spark and whatnot. Like, if we had a full next, you're never going to have a full team, every week. But I think this week, I do feel what you're feeling, Andy. I think like it hasn't been. I think there hasn't been as much hype as much, and it's not. I'm not knocking Gold Coast for this as well, right? Like, we're playing at home. We've got a couple of big ins. That's going to help it. Like, having Fogarty back in the forward line, we'll touch on him in a bit. Sard back, home game, one that we are pretty strong favourites to win, and you expect to win, right? Because if we don't, then, like I said, call Ed Curnow, get that bonfire ready. But the media witch hunt will be found out. But I just feel, I also feel like personally, we're just crawling to the next bye. I feel like with that really heavy patch of trying, they kept talking about this heavy patch of preseason. And I don't want it to go down with the likes of friggin' Adelaide's preseason camp. It doesn't sound like it was like that intense, right? But there was that big block of training, round 0. We knew we had a bye coming up soon. So did they misjudge it based on the injuries that have come across? They probably have. And I feel like the players are just saying, let's just get to the bye. Right? It's after the Essendon game or before? The week before or after? It's after, isn't it?
I think it's one after.
After the Essendon game.
Because we got Port and then Bombers.
Or Essendon, then by.
Essendon, yeah. So I really hope.
Then by.
Yeah.
Where do we play Port?
Up
Over
there.
Yeah. So, I think I just feel like we're crawling towards the bye again to do a mini reset and set up for the second half of the season, get a few players back. But we need some results. And I
if that's the case, Georgie, and we are like just looking at that bye, then we're doing it hard.
Yep.
We are doing it hard, bro. And again, like if we're gonna go back to that preseason block, that grueling block just before the season started, who's to blame for that? Is that a strength and conditioning thing? Is it a coaching thing? Because someone's going to have to put their hand up and say, "Look, I'll take responsibility." If it doesn't,
That's a big if.
a lot of injuries, a lot of soft tissue injuries.
Yeah, but that comes further. That comes later on when you strength and conditioning, like what they're doing in the gym, what they're doing.
So who's to blame?
Whether the strength and conditioning, your mate, Mr. Russell.
Yeah.
If it persists,
has this all started since he came over? I don't know.
Look,
he got us fit. He got us fit. Definitely, we're a lot fitter. We were a lot fitter. I don't know. This year's been so strange.
This year and last year's probably been our worst for injuries.
Yeah, but again, so to me, last year it was our game style, which was brutal. Yeah. It was bruising.
Yep. I'll wear that.
This year,
that's a good one.
This year's it's soft tissue. We're losing players left, right. We're losing players at training. Like so many players are just re-injuring themselves at training. What are they making them do? So I don't know. It's there's a lot of questions that we should be asking the club. So, I mean, in 4 months, once the season's done, we're going to have a much better idea, obviously, of how the season ends and if these injuries actually matter in the long run. But it's not a good look. It's not a good sign going forward if we're just dropping all the time.
What do you call a pass from here to the bye for the next 3 games? 2? Obviously, we want 3 wins. But what do you call a pass?
Have to beat Gold Coast. Have to beat Essendon. Who else do we play? Port.
Good George
over there.
George,
is that it? Is it just those 3 games?
Yeah, in the bye.
Obviously 3 out of 3, but 2 out of 3 is a non-negotiable for me.
And let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. What's actually going to be? Because in my view, I think we roll Gold Coast, and that's as far as we get.
I can't fathom that. I don't want to fathom that against them.
Trust me, I'm not looking forward to that. And again, it depends what happens with injuries. Do we get more players back? And I fucking hate saying this, but do we get more injuries?
Based on
that's the thing. I've lost trust. I've lost trust in Look, Gold Coast is a non-negotiable for me. If you're half serious about playing finals, It's not even about the top 4 for me right now, right? It's just let's just get to finals.
Let's get back in the 8 for now.
Yeah. So Gold Coast is a non-negotiable for me. Have to. Essendon is a non-negotiable for me only because of our hatred. But they're playing great footy at the moment, and they're up and about. I still think we beat them. Port, we struggle at that ground. We just do. You know, we got lucky to beat Freo over there.
Yeah.
So
Hawks got the jump on them. I mean, look, what a fourth quarter of it. Hawks got the jump on them last week. You know, put a little bit of a blueprint out there, and but they got a few players back. We've got a short turnaround time till that game as well, 5 days.
Can I ask you a question about that, Georgie? Do you think we're as hard as Hawthorn?
Currently, if you look at the Hawthorn Port game in our
Whole
game,
season, this whole season.
Yeah. I don't think. I think they play a bit more of an attacking and harder footy than we have this season. Last season,
I think we're soft. I actually think we're a soft team.
Pick a team.
Yeah.
Pick a team who we're harder than.
But isn't that interesting? Like look at last year versus this year. Literally look at last year versus this year, or the last 2 years, really, 2022, 23, versus our style this year. Like we would belt the opposition. We would we had that fear factor. You know, I think we absolutely, like, this week there has to be a bit of a statement. Some big names in. We'll talk about Fogarty really quickly. Him back in that forward line. I think someone like him is going to set that scene in the forward line, set the example. A couple of early tackles. Like you know what you're going to get from him, and hopefully he makes his fellow small forwards lift their game. You know what? Always going to chip in a couple of goals here and there. Fantasia, bring the heat. If you don't bring the heat, get front and center, right? Fogarty's going to set that example in the forward line, and hopefully it even sparks Charlie's efforts a little bit as well. Like, rather than not putting in 100% for chases and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to that personally.
I think everyone's going to realise how shit Durden really is when you see Fogarty come back in. Straight up.
He's straight up there. Lana, Pogs is a tackling machine. Thank God he's back. Yeah, absolutely. Like that, we've missed that. We've absolutely missed that. I think he sets that example, and that fierceness and that competitiveness, and he sticks tackles. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Fogarty's going to have more tackles at halftime than Durden's has in the last month.
I reckon first quarter.
I don't even know the stats, but I guarantee you, Fogarty will have more tackles at halftime than Durden has in the last month.
Oh, yeah. Aiden, we're 14-2 with Fogs since he came back in. I saw that stat the other day. Actually, it's great stat. Well, effort, pressure, whether or not it's a coincidence, you know what he's going to bring. So, I've been like, when he came through, and you're thinking, okay, where does he fit in the structure? What's he going to bring? And although he doesn't hit the scoreboard with elite small forward results, he brings that ferocity, that tackling. So he's going to give you something. He's not going to give you nothing across 2 or 3 facets of his play. So, throwing to the actual game itself, where do you guys think this game will be won? If you're talking about just us as Carlton, where do you think how will we win this game?
Good question.
I think I'm probably jumping in here prematurely, but I think the TDK Wits matchup is going to be really crucial. Obviously Pinnet not getting up, and TDK having that burden sort of with Wits coming back in, and Wits always has it over us. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the centre clearances. We got smashed last week with Pinnet, without Pinnet, didn't make a difference. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens and what we go to. Are we going to be more defensive, or are we going all or nothing? I don't know, but I think the midfield is going to be quite critical. The run from Saad, and then the pressure from it's kind of the back line and the forward line. Those two names have just restructured the whole back line and the whole forward line. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's kind of to answer your question, George. It's going to be across the board.
Has to be effort and work rate for me.
Pressure.
Because Gold Coast is a good side. They're a good side. And they're like a bunny side for us. We, especially in Marvel, I don't know. I'm never confident against Gold Coast.
They usually beat us down here, and we usually beat them up at home.
Yeah.
But it's pressure all round. Everyone has to chip in. Every single player has to chip in. TDK is going to get dominated in the ruck, I believe.
Yeah. Well,
Wits
that's
is an
where
animal.
everyone
Man.
else. Yeah.
Beast.
So the midfielders are going to have to put in extra work, win the ball. Everyone, wingers, backline, bench, everyone, chip in. More
Even
front
Durden from
shoulder.
the sidelines.
Water
No,
boy,
no,
water girl, everyone.
leave my home.
And what about in terms of any, I guess, not glaring holes or weaknesses or anything you're concerned about this game that may cost us?
Charlie's lack of effort. I'm sick of beating around the bush with Charlie Curnow. Everybody and everyone in chat's going to be like, "Oh, he missed 3 years." Oh, I don't care. There's no excuse for his lack of effort. No excuse. Is he all about self? Is he just like Morris was saying earlier today? Does he need to be down in the Coleman race to get a spark on him? Because he doesn't try. He does not try. The ball goes over his head, looks at the umpire waving his arms, and he won't go back.
Run chase.
I was comparing. Sorry, Morris showed me a comparison actually between Harry and Charlie for the season, and Harry's dominated him on all like major stats. Right now, Harry does play up the ground, gets a bit more ball and all that. I get that, but Harry's only maybe 4 or 5 goals behind him, and people are still gonna be on Charlie's lap because it's Charlie Curnow, and he sells tickets, and the kids love him. But right now, he's not someone that kids would look up to and say, "Oh, I want to play like him." Not the way he's playing now. He doesn't chase. When's the last time you seen him get 2 or 3 tackles a game? I can't remember. Then they're going to say, "Oh, but his knees." That was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, that excuse is old now. That doesn't.
What about Sam Walsh playing with half a back?
Yeah.
No one's saying, "Oh, he's back. He's back." Nah, man. I don't know. I feel like Charlie gets treated differently to everyone else by our
He's on a
fans.
pedestal. He's on a pedestal.
Exactly, and I think he needs to be pegged down a bit.
So he's
Just
on my
because-
pedestal, right?
Throw him down.
I just think I think I want to see like a big game from him and not goals. I don't care what he kicks. I want to see chasing. I want to see marking down the ground. I want to see effort. Things that we shouldn't even ask for. These are the non-negotiables. Effort is a non-negotiable. And amongst other players, the majority of other players, he lacked it so bad last week. And because we got smashed, I think we noticed it more.
Yeah.
But he's done it all year. And I don't know if he's carrying an injury. I don't know what's going on. But his effort this year has just been non-existent. I think he's too busy posting watches and hats on Instagram. just flashing his watch. We just got pumped and he's flashing his watch at us. Come on, bro. I don't know who he thinks he is, mate. He hasn't got a premiership around his neck, bro. He's not special yet.
You know what's scary? I was just Googling that leadership thing that Carlton posted earlier this year. And he's part of that leadership. So there was Wiedering, Cripps, Curnow, and I think it was Walsh. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
Well, you want to be leading by example. Yep.
No, exactly right. His body language is shit house.
And he's relied on his freak talent and his elite talent. His kick, don't get me wrong, he's going to give you goals. Like Andy said on Monday, he's still going to get those 2-3 goals for him, right? Some of that is just relied on his freak talent. The playing from behind constantly is a bit annoying. It's just he gets caught out of contests, and he'll he get caught behind and he won't make that chase, or he'll just his body language afterwards is just okay, whatever. But there's times where you see his freak elite effort, like there was the mark on the 50 against Sydney, or pack marks against Melbourne, whatever have you, right? And his conversion rate's good, so he'll usually he'll get those goals per game, or it could be a free kick or whatnot. But he's capable of. We know what he's capable of. He's capable of so much more.
This is sorry, George. I'm just going to cut you off quickly. Aiden just made a great point, right? Where'd it go? What's weird is Charlie is ranked first in time trials, so I have no idea why he won't run. They bragged about how he was top 5, I think, for the long distance run they did.
Charlie
Where's
was
that tank? Yeah, Charlie was top 5.
running by himself.
And this is when I realized, right, that the club was lying to us about Sam Walsh, because Sam Walsh wasn't in the top 5. Sam Walsh was always first or second. Him and Cotters, I think
Yeah.
it was one of those. And then Sam Walsh wasn't on that list, so I was like, Sam Walsh isn't, they're not getting him to do the run, and they only released the top 5. They didn't release everyone else. So, yeah, no, sorry, George. Just thought that comment was interesting.
No, good
spot.
Pick up. Well, he's always they always talk about the Curnow genetics and the elite runners or whatnot. Well, do you probably then expect him to play a really solid and effective lead up sort of kind of game and just ragdoll his opponent, wear out his opponent. Like if you're supposedly an absolute elite runner, run your defender ragged.
Nick
right?
Rowell was great at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get stuck into the
Anyways.
Predictions. Anyways, call out in the live chats. Thanks everyone for the engagement. Winner, obviously us. How much by BOG and leading goal kicker. Going to go around the grounds. Mus, I'll kick it off with you, mate.
Yeah, it's going to be. We should really come out and smack them, but it's probably going to be another cardiac Carlton. I reckon Carlton by 9 points. 9 points will just win. I reckon it's going to be neck and neck all day. Sadly, and I don't think we're going to bring that spark. I hope I'm wrong. I think it's just going to be pretty average game. Best on ground. I'm going to back Cripps. I think he'll come out and have a good game. Not saying he had a shitty game last week. Obviously, I don't ever want to talk about that, but I think he'll come back, get his 30-odd touches and get a lot of contested balls. So I think Cripps will have a good game. Leading goal kicker, after all of what we just said, Charlie's going to come out and kick 6. Hopefully.
7.
Carl?
I'm semi confident. A bit more confident than Mus, I guess. Carlton by 17. I hope it's fucking 47. Yeah, 17. Walsh, BOG. I reckon he's just going to turn it on as he always does, but especially after last week's quiet game, I reckon he's going to have a cracking game. And I reckon Harry's going to have a big one. 5+. 5+. Andy?
I like it.
I'm not feeling it this week, boys.
Carlton by 44.
No. I think we'll be down. I think we'll be down by 3 or 4 goals. And if we win, I reckon it'll be by a goal. I can't see where our spark's coming from, where it's going to come from. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say Carlton by 3 points. Harry will kick 4. And best on ground, Sam Walsh. Georgie?
Cardiac Carlton, there you go. I'll go through the chat before mine. Morris Blues by 46, Harry 5, Cripps BOG, Aiden. Maz, Blues by 23, BOG, Cripper, top goal scorer, Charlie with 5, Steph, Blues 35, Owies and Charlie with 4 each, and BOG, Walsh or Cripper. Nazi, Cripps will start this week, Harry will kick 5, Charlie 4, we win by 40. I like the sounds of that. 7, Carlton by 23, Harry to once again prove he's the superior forward with 4. He does love Marvel. Yes, BOG, Fogarty on his day back. Lana Owens, Blues by 16, BOG, Walshy, Harry with 5. Oz, Carlton by 18 points, Cripps for BOG, Curnow to kick 4 or 5. Aiden, I'm going with Gold Coast. I feel like Gold Coast have a lot of momentum, to be honest. Well, there you go. Aiden, big call. Amal couldn't be with us today, but Amal's popped his tip in. Blues by 1. Jeez. Charlie will win silver and green belts, BJJ, and Walsh, POG. Tom White lose by 20, BOG, Walsh, Charlie with 4. I am going to go Carlton by 34.
Oof.
In one of those wins that there's more, it raises more questions than answers. You know, one of those weird wins? I feel like it's going to be one of those ones. Anyway, Carlton by 34. I don't even know if that makes sense, but it does. Cripps, BOG, and Harry to kick 4. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a seesawing game, and we'll have just enough of a gap on them. But it's one of those, and I hope it's not one of those ones. But it's got the makings of, like, you know, you're going in flat, and you're sort of going to walk out feeling like, you know, we got it done. We need to. We absolutely need to. I feel like this needs to be a statement game because we've lost a fair bit of credibility. You got a couple of big ins back that help our structure defensively. Cowan with the effort. Sard, you know what he's going to bring. Fogarty. So I look at the 3 ins and it's just effort, pressure, effort, which is all the things that we lacked last week. So
I'm flat. Like I'm so flat going into this game. Honestly, I want to see us like you said, statement, not just win. Yeah. I just think we're incapable of doing that though. Like I think it's a mentality issue. I think it's a mental issue. We can't put our foot on an opposition's throat and finish the job. We can't do it. Even our win against North, like we won by 10 goals, but
it wasn't convincing. It's giving me PTSD, Andy. You're saying some dark words from last year. It's scaring me a little bit.
I hope it turns, bro. Like I hope it turns like last year. The more I think about what happened last week, the more I'm concerned about how switched on we are. Because what we lacked last week were the non-negotiables. Effort, work rate. The opposition was walking through us. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign at all.
If Carlton wins by a big margin, I think we need Andrew to be concerned every week.
And we've cried out, I guess, for many weeks for a fast start. And once we've had the fast starts in recent weeks, we've been pegged back. We've been pegged back a bit. So we want to see a consistent 4-quarter effort. You boys saw something in the chat there.
Nah, I'm laughing at that.
Yeah,
what you said. 4-quarter effort.
And I was looking at Steph AFL. Need to give Andy the pain meds again. This is wrong. Oh, Steph. Yeah. I don't know who you are, Steph, but I do need those pain meds. I need pain meds for Carlton, not even my eye.
Yeah,
just Carlton. Oh.
Yeah. Nah, look, I really think we...
what happens if we lose?
What
would happen? Imagine we come out and play like we played against Sydney.
It's possible.
How do you think? Of course, it's possible. How do you think the fans react as a collective?
Because
that's what.
Yeah, it's what's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of.
Yeah. Now, I don't think we should sack Voss. I'm just going to put it out there, but that'll be the kickstart to the sack Voss thing.
There's already a lot. Already seen heaps this week on social media.
Have you actually?
Yeah, there's been.
I'll stay away from Facebook. I'll stay away from all that when we lose. Because some of our fans are just off their heads, man. Some of our fans are cooked.
Which is what a lot of them probably said about us.
Yeah, 100%. We're all screwed up a bit in the head. We're all freaks. What's that? I can't play Sydney again. Last week wasn't nice. Was just touching stuff.
Trying to see the latest comments.
You can't use that excuse. So what if you got to play Sydney in a final? You got to be good. You got to be good everywhere.
Tracy, I'm not on there. What's the score? I'm on Tramadol. I need Tramadol.
What's the score at the moment? Doggies and Sydney.
Sydney's up by 19. All the time.
All right. Nah, I think we face. I don't want to think about the thought of losing because if we do,
we're so heightened and so scarred as a collective fan base that people will lose their minds. Talkback radio will go off.
I'm going to riot outside the club. Yeah.
I think, Bernie.
I just don't want like it cooks my brain, and I ranted about this last time. How we signed Durden for 2 years, it blows my mind. There is no logic behind it. There's no like all the players that we've got coming out of contract. We're like, oh, better sign Corey Durden.
Has he got some photos of us? He got some photos. He's got something. He's got something. Look, I think we hopefully get up to a ripper start. 4-quarter effort is what we want to see. Effort, pressure, and work rate. After last week, that's all we want to see, right? And a win, of course.
And we'll win. We do that. We win.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, until Saturday, if you're at the game, I think we're all, Legends Lounge J4, come around, say hi. We'll probably be out and about. Once again, a really big shout out to our sponsor, Blues Crypto. I've got it pinned, all the details in the chat, bluescrypto.com.
Shout out Steph. I know who Steph is. He just messaged me.
On your Steph. Shout out. Shout out to everyone that's been in the chat tonight. Really appreciate you as always. Thanks again, bluescrypto.com, for getting around us with a sponsorship. And all the best for the weekend. Whoever's going, get around the baggers, be loud, be proud, and see you guys on Monday night for the review.
See you now.